Grandma Lena, I was trying to think about some stories that I could share with her since it was quite some time ago, but when I was growing up, we would go out to the farm to spend the night. And it was always so much fun because, you know, Daniel lived at the farm there for quite a while because he got married quite later in life compared to the rest of the brothers and sisters. So Daniel was always there, and he had quite the sense of humor as well. So we would spend the night with Grandma and Daniel, and there were a couple of traditional things that would take place. The house was set up so that you walk into the little kitchen, then the dining area, the living room area, and then the bedroom, and then the bathroom had a door from the back into the bedroom, and then from the front into the kitchen. So Grandma would always have this habit of chasing us. So she would chase us around that entire area, and it was like kind of like you knew it was going to happen. And many a times the fly swatter, she had that too. She was just, you know, never used it on us, but was just playing with us. And we always, it was just always such a joy to spend the night over there. I think the fact that my sister and I were a little bit older, we actually had more opportunity to do that because it was just the two of us than the four boys. So at least once a summer we would do that. And another part of that tradition is we always listened to the hog reports. Daniel always had those on in the morning, so we'd always hear the hog reports on the radio, which was something we never heard at home. He also slept in. So he slept in, and he was a pipe smoker. And so us girls had this habit of every time we spent the night at Grandma's house, we would go upstairs before Daniel got out of bed and steal his pipe. And so he would come down later and just put on a show about where did he leave it, what happened to it. You know, just really fond memories. Grandma would also, she made, and maybe some of you guys that would get out to her house would remember this, but she would take those old milk cartons, the 2-quart milk cartons, and she would cut them so that they looked like a wishing well. And then you'd go out agate picking or rock picking with her, and she'd have all these rocks, and she would take that milk carton and she'd get out the Elmer's glue, and she would make wishing wells with and glue the rocks on them. And at some point she had an awful lot of those around too. Elmer's glue is hard to work with, so she had an awful lot of patience when it came time to doing that as well. And then one more quick story about her is our house was like 11 miles from Grandma's. And in her later years, she started riding a 3-wheeled bike. And there was one time she took that 3-wheeled bike and was going to come visit us. And she had rode it quite a distance, so we kind of knew she could do it, but we were all a little bit worried. So about the time we knew she was getting fairly close, Mom and Dad sent my brother Mark on a bike ride out to look to see where she was at. And of course Mark had been given instructions that when you met up with Grandma, you let her know how tired you are so that she stops and lets you have a break. So of course Grandma, for a number of years after that, had to tell us just how tired Mark got biking, that she had to stop so he could have a rest. So, all right.